Hey, how's everybody doing? Gio here from the Two Hasbro's Toy Hunt podcast. Today I've got a quick video for everybody. I'm going to be doing an unboxing. I got a package in the mail today, a figure that I'm really excited about. But before we get to that, I want to welcome everybody to the cave, the toy room, the place where I come in to meditate and get away from everything. I hope everyone's quarantine is going good. Well, as good as it can, right? Because it's boring. But as long as everyone out there is staying safe, I hope your families are safe. I hope everyone's taking the necessary precautions. Don't forget to wash those hands. Don't touch your face. Wipe everything down before you get into your house. But enough of all that. You're not here to listen to me talk about the infection. And I don't want to talk about the infection because it's overwhelming and boring. Let's get to the unboxing part. So I've got a package here from the Collector's Outpost in Gurnee, Illinois. I found an item on there online on Saturday night. So quickly I got on the phone. I called up George. I told him, hey, I found it. We can finally get our hands on these. Are you in or are you out? And without hesitation, he said, I'm in. Get me one. We'll split the shipping costs. It's a good price. It's still retail price except for the shipping part. But yeah, so let's see what's in here. Now, for those of you wondering, I wiped this down before I brought it into the house when the mail carrier dropped it off. I took some Clorox wipes and I wiped the entire box down. And then I've got a couple of them here, because we're going to wipe down what's inside as well. So let's bust out the Sword of Omens and find out what's inside. Now this figure eluded George and I. I'll give you guys a hint. We tried looking for it on Triple Force Friday, but we never got it. And funny story about Triple Force Friday. Well, it's not that funny, but I went to the theaters. See, my job requires me to work overnights. And it's a 10-hour shift. I work Monday through Thursdays. And I got tickets to go see the Joker, I believe. I was taking my wife. We were going to go see the Joker. And I specifically thought the night before while I was at work, okay, I'm going to wake up extra early. I'm going to go to Target or Targets. And there's one right by my house. And I'm going to try to get my hands on on as many figures as I can, but there was only one figure that I really wanted. And we had a matinee show, first showing of the day at the theater. So I get up, I get ready, and we go straight to the theater. I completely forgot that it was Triple Force Friday. And I was not able to get this figure until today. So here's my receipt. Very nicely packaged. Anybody guess what it is? Let's toss that to the side. Now let's give this a quick wipe down, because we don't know who touched it, right? This is how we unbox things in 2020, unfortunately. Let's wipe the bottom. Get some wiping here on the top. Alright. Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Bam! We finally have them. We have them in our possession. The Mandalorian. Let me wipe them down. Give it a nice once over. Can't be too careful, right? Now, if any of you out there are thinking that wiping these down are going to compromise the condition of the box, or if it's bad for the box, we're not inbox collectors. I'm going to rip one of these open right now, and I know George is going to do the same thing as soon as he gets his hands on them. if we ever get to hang out again in person. But you can you can listen to us hang out when we do the Two Hasbro's Toy Hunt podcast. So you can find it on Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Google, iHeartRadio, Spotify. So, come by, hang out with us. Give us a listen, give us a rating, a review, and tell us what you like, what you don't like. We're starting off the podcast, really. But enough of that. Let's get to the figure. So, there he is in all his glory. Number 94. So, the back of the package says, his body is shielded by Beskar armor, his face is hidden behind a T-visored mask, and his past is wrapped up in mystery. The Mandalorian is battle-worn and tight-lipped, a formidable bounty hunter in an increasingly dangerous galaxy. So what did you guys think about the first season of The Mandalorian? I know I really liked it. I didn't like it as much as most people, where a lot of people are saying it's the best thing to ever happen to Star Wars. I wouldn't go that far, but I really enjoyed the series. I like the production quality. It's almost like you're watching a weekly episodic movie. So let's take him out of his box. And there it is. He's got his little blaster and his harpoon type gun. So let's take a look at that. There it is. Not a lot of paint on there. Well, the little handle is painted black compared to the rest of the gun, which is just a gray. Let's get the harpoon out of there. Now this one has a little more nice sculpt. Obviously, it's longer. It's got different shades of colors on there. There's gray, there's black, brown. Let's see if I can get some light on there. There we go. Now let's get the figure out of this bubble. Okay, so the cape. I don't like when they do this, when they make this slit here and fit the cape through there. Makes it very difficult to steal. I'm just kidding. Don't steal. Almost dropped the figure there. When I was taking it out, it almost fell out, and the slit bailed me out, so time to eat some crow. Oh, this is nice. This is very nice. Look at that. Joints are a little tight, but you play around with it a little, he'll start to loosen up. I don't like when the joints are this tight. I'm a mobility guy. I like to be able to pose them around, and see, he can't even bend his knees. That's okay. We could take a blow dryer, warm him up a little bit, and he'll be able to move around, no problem. I like the material of the cape. I would have preferred soft goods, to be honest, but it's not a really hard plastic. It's nice. It's got a nice feel to it. Here's a closer look. I'm sure many of you have already seen this figure many times. I'm sure a lot of them own it already. And you're probably sick of watching Mandalorian figure reviews, but hey, I'm excited, man. I was really looking for this figure for a long time. It's not the carbonized version. I prefer this one. I prefer the original, mostly for pictures mostly for pictures, right, and display purposes. But the carbonized Mandalorian is a figure I'd one day like to get my hands on. So let's try to, let's see if this gun fits in here. It's pistol. Yes, perfectly. Nice. And I believe the harpoon gun, I think I saw, yeah, I saw this little peg here. And he's got a peg hole in the back right there. And on this, so I'm assuming it's supposed to overlap. So if you have it overlap that way, doesn't look very deep, and this looks very long. Let me see. I'm not even going to be able to get it on there with the strap overlapping there it is. This is much more difficult than I anticipated. Can you hear that? You hear the ambulance? You can hear a lot of ambulances lately. I don't know if it's because of what's going on in the world or because the streets are so much more quiet that you can just make them out easier. But there it is. I sort of got it on. But it doesn't feel very secure. I think it's going to fall off. So displayed, I'll probably have to have them holding it. There he is, the Mandalorian. I was so happy when I finally seen that I was able to get it basically at retail. Plus a little bit of shipping, but you know, the place I got it from is not that far away from me. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the way, the Mandalorian. Alright, so I got the little harpoon thing off of him. Let's talk a little bit about his articulation. So his arms come up. Not a lot, actually, because of these shields. This arm can only come up, his left arm can only come up that much. His right arm could go up and down 360. But you can't really get the shoulder to lift his arm. You cannot lift his arm sideways. Alright, he's got, is that double jointed? Nope. Single jointed elbows? No, it's double. The joint on the elbows, you can bring it to 90 degrees. Pop it out that way. It's got forearm swivel. That's cool. He's got wrist swivel. He's got a wrist hinge. You can go up and down. The torso can go back about that much. Forward that much. The head cannot look too far back when he's got the cape on, and because of the helmet, he can look down about that much. Legs pop out only to there because of these plates. Don't really go far back. Double jointed knee. Ankle pivot. Can bring the feet up and down. You know, he can do the pee-wee dance. And his legs come out that much. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy with the figure. I'm excited to have it. Can't wait to take it outside and start taking some pictures. So, that's going to do it for today. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. As I mentioned earlier, come by, listen to our podcast. We are pouring our hearts into it. We're doing our best. Let us know if there's anything you guys would like to see or hear on the podcast. You can send us an email at 2toyhunt@gmail.com. That's numeral 2toyhunt@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at 2toyhunt. That's usually where I'll have some of the pictures that I take. I'm starting to put them on there as well. But I have them on my Instagram. It's at Geosynchronicity. So come by and give me a follow. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you everybody for watching. Geo out.